Does your attitude and your appearance in court for your trial or your court proceeding, does it really matter? Want to know the answer to my question? Stay with me as I share with you this very important information. Hello guys, I'm Marcus Boston and I'm a medical malpractice and childbirth injury attorney practicing law here in the state of Maryland. And I would like to talk with you today quickly about that issue. Your attitude, your appearance in court. Do these things really matter? Well, to give you some background, I'm going to let you know why I'm shooting this video today. See, a couple of days ago, I was in court and I was waiting to take care of some business. And while I was sitting in the audience, there was a gentleman that had a criminal case going on. And I think that they were in there because they were trying to see if they could work out a last-minute plea with the gentleman or whether his case was going to go ahead and go to a jury trial in another courtroom. Well, as I had an opportunity to take a look at everything and to observe this gentleman, what I saw was someone who just really did not want to be bothered with the entire process. He didn't seem to take it serious. It was almost like it was a joke to this particular individual. He was in court, he had on a t-shirt, his shirt was hanging out of his pants, his jeans were sagging, and he was kind of just slouching around at the trial table. And for me, I was looking at this and I was saying to myself, well, you are facing jail time with this, and wouldn't it be in your best interest to maybe take this a tad more seriously? I'm going to take things a little bit further and give you another example, a real life example that came from Renee and myself. And this case was a couple of years ago. Renee and I were dealing with a criminal defense case in which this case eventually it did go on to trial. But I'm going to give you some background about this case, and I'm going to share with you some really important information at the end of everything. Well, what happened is our client was walking home from the grocery store with his son and his son's friends. Now these children, they're little. These are little kids that we're talking about. And they're walking home to the grocery store. Everybody's got bags in their hands and they're on their way home. Well, our client, what he notices is a car is coming up the street and it's driving really slow a bit, and the people that are in there, he can kind of see them in, but he kind of can see their heads kind of moving and looking at them. So he kind of, he's not really paying too much of attention to it, but it is something on his radar. But then the car comes back around and he sees it again. Now at this point, going through his mind, he's like, well, you know what's going on here? And then all of a sudden the car goes around the corner, and a couple of minutes later, a group of people come from around the corner. And one of these individuals has a really big stick in their hand. And as they're coming up, they're rushing up to my client. Now you gotta remember I told you my client's got groceries in his hand, he's got his kids, he's got his kid with him, and his child's friend is there with him. And this big crowd is coming up, and one of them has a stick. And the individual with the stick takes the stick back, cocks the stick back, and before this person can strike down with the stick, our client has dropped everything and he's went ahead and he's hit that individual with the stick. Well, the other ones, they swarm in, they pull his shirt up over his head and everything, and our client, he's getting beat up. And he hears the screams of not only his son, but the other little boy that was there with his son. And he hears their screams. And he reaches in his pocket and he has some tools in his pocket, and he pulls out a screwdriver, I believe it was, or some other type of tool, and he begins to swing. And he swings and he hits someone in the face and eye with that tool. And of course, blood is everywhere, and the crowd begins to disperse. Everyone starts running, and that's where we are with everything. We fast forward in a time, and yep, you know it, our client is charged with, I believe it was attempted murder, and there was first degree assault, second degree assault, use of a weapon. There was a lot of other charges that was in there, and the murder charge that ended up being kicked out, or he dropped that, but of course the assaults and all the other charges was there. So I say all of that because we're at trial now. It's trial day, we're at trial, and we're having a jury trial here, and we're going through with everything. Long story short, our defense of self-defense, it worked. Now, after the trial, our client was able to walk out a free man. But what we were able to do is we were able to talk to some of the jurors after the trial. And their explanation of things was very interesting, because what we found is that a number of jurors said that they were really paying attention to our client during the trial. They were looking at his facial expressions, not only at trial table, but when he was testifying. They was listening to his every word. In other words, what they were saying is that they could tell that this individual was taking this very seriously and that they believed him. Now, I'm going to go back and I'm going to tell you one other thing. Just because you're taking it serious or just because you're dressing nice and stuff in court, that doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to be, you got a 100% chance of winning your case, not only a criminal case, but a civil case. But what it does go to show is that you care about the situation. What it does show is that you respect everything. You respect the process. Not only are you respecting the judges and the lawyers that are there, but the jurors, the individuals who are going to hear your case, the people who may have had to take off work to come and listen to what's going on. They may have had to find a babysitter, or they may not even be getting paid the amount that they're supposed to be getting paid that day because they're taking off from work to be able to come to listen to your case. So I'm shooting this video to help you understand that not only does your attitude in court matter, your demeanor, not only your appearance, what you're wearing, not only do those things matter, they are very important, and they can sometimes help you have a better chance with your case. Now, I know this was a pretty long video, and it's kind of off the topic of what I normally talk about, which is medical malpractice and childbirth injury information. But I thought that this video was very important because you may be watching this video and you're wondering, what should you wear to court? Or how should you act in court? Should you be respectful? Should you take it seriously? That's why I'm shooting this video, to help give you insight into this process. Now, if you have an attorney already for your case, you need to make sure that you're listening to your attorney first and foremost. But like I said, I wanted to just go ahead and give you some additional information that may be able to help you out. All right, guys, I'm already over. This is a very long video today for me. But if you have legal questions, this is something that I do all the time. What you can do is you can pick up the phone and give me a call. I can be reached at 301-850-4832, or if you prefer, you can send me an email to medicalinjury@bostonlawllc.com. I answer Maryland medical malpractice and childbirth injury questions like yours all the time, and I'll be glad to take some time and listen to your story. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today's quick educational video. Again, I'm Marcus Boston, and I'm one of the medical malpractice and childbirth injury attorneys here at Boston Law Group LLC, and we will see you next time. Guys, take care and enjoy the rest of your day.